I think we're good.
Yeah, go Miss Mason.
Thank you. Every Biglerville teacher was eager for break, especially Heiser, who wanted to bake a cake and some fruit pies, a turkey, ham. He drooled when he thought of brown sugar and yams. It could be he just had a knack for meal prep. It could be meal prep put new pep in his step. But I think that the thing he liked doing most was feeding his friends and acting the host. Whatever it was, his friends or the food, he smiled on Christmas morn in a swell mood, standing there in his kitchen, dreaming of trout and waffles and roasted fresh Brussels sprouts. He thought about oysters. He thought about clams. He thought about crumpets with blackberry jam.
But who will attend my Christmas time feast?
Heiser voiced as he reached for a packet of yeast. With his shirt sleeves rolled up and his apron tied tight, he considered his pals who had huge appetites. Mr. Foster, he knew, was a big fan of eggs. And Miss Tyson made tasty, deep-fried frog legs.
Will she make them?
He wondered.
If I beg?
He'd do it. He'd beg for some deep-fried frog legs.
So I'll make them.
Miss Tyson said in a shout.
I'll make them right now. Get the ingredients out.
What do we need? How about sauerkraut?
Yeah, Braylon's kids out.
Get the rest of the ingredients out.
Beyond sauerkraut?
But what about eggs? Eggs make the meal. We need more eggs.
I call them huevos.
Miss
Ever so slightly, hard-boiled and scrambled and deviled just rightly.
Parsley, dusted just lightly.
Heiser looked all about him, his eyes round and wide. There was oh so much food, baked, pickled, and fried.
We need some more good friends to eat.
Miss Tyson decided.
Agreed. This is so much food we've provided.
With a big, toothy grin, Heiser said to his guests.
I'll bet Mrs. Graham will partake in our fest.
So he pulled out his phone and dialed her number.
Mrs. Graham?
Heiser asked.
Did I pull you from slumber?
All the way across town, Ms. Graham stifled a yawn. She wore a nightcap and a gown and looked wan.
I wasn't asleep.
She assured Mr. Heiser.
I've been up since dawn. I'm a real early riser. Why? What do you need? Please let me know.
I need your empty stomach and help with my dough.
Dough? As in money?
Mrs. Graham arched her brows.
Not money, bread. It needs kneaded. Now.
I'm on my way. I'll bring a few friends.
And with that, Mrs. Graham brought the to an end. Moments later, it seemed, came a knock at the door. And when Miss Petcher looked, there were people galore.
Yeah!
Mrs. Graham and Miss Higas, Miss Purcell. Petcher said,
There's no need to knock. Come on in.
Tyson said, her smile quite big.
Hey, Miss Purcell. I really love that wig.
It's brand new. A unique Christmas gift from my Aunt Trudy. Honestly, mess.
It suits your complexion. Brings out your eyes.
Is there some place I might set these fried chicken thighs?
Over there on the table would be perfectly fine.
Here, I brought you a gift, and I wrapped it with twine.
Yeah.
Surprised, Mr. Heiser accepted the box. He unwrapped it slowly and pulled out
New socks!
New socks. You're so lucky. I wish I had some. Looking at mine, I feel quite glum.
With a disgruntled sigh, the guests looked at their feet. Very suddenly, the mood had become quite downbeat. They wore lackluster socks in shades of drab white that seemed extra drab next to Heiser's so bright. Looking sheepish, Mr. Heiser tucked his socks in his apron.
I mean, I don't have to wear them. They're kind of misshapen.
Nonsense!
Said Doc Swope, her posture quite rigid.
Put on your socks. Your feet must be frigid. And as for the rest of you,
Honestly. Nice toe.
I've had a thought, and it's a very deep thought that I like quite a lot.
Mr. Heiser dripping.
Said Miss Petcher, clapping her hands.
Whatever it is, I'll bet it's grand. Well,
Said Doc Swope, looking left, right, and around.
we'll need needles and yarn and a place to sit down.
Let me make a quick call. I've got artist pals. If you give me a minute, I can round up some gals.
And so a wise plan was put into action. Folks got real focused, despite one distraction. Mr. Foster, it seemed, was so eager for eggs that he grabbed a whole dozen, dusted with nutmeg. Then he sat, all alone, a bit off to the side, while the others stared openly, very wide-eyed. 'Twas a knock at the door claimed their focus anew. And Miss Higas hopped up, and with footsteps she flew straight to the door and flung it wide open.
My friend! My friends, you all came. I was so very hoping.
They paraded right in, armed with needles and yarn.
Close the door!
Heiser yelled.
Were you born in a barn?
Miss Fry said, momentarily shy. But then Heiser said, with a glint in his eye,
You know I'm just teasing. Come on, Mrs. Fry. We're on a mission to knit some new footwear. Footwear to compare to those socks right down there.
I love them. They're gorgeous. Where'd they come?
Doc Swope gave them to me. Now get in here. Come.
All together, they sat on a very long bench while Foster munched eggs, and his hunger was quenched. The friends knitted and knitted and knitted and knit. They knitted and knitted and just did not quit. After some time, Purcell got to her feet.
You know,
She mused.
I'm quite beat.
Mr. Heiser looked up.
I've got some beets. I like beets quite a lot.
I like a good beat.
Mrs. Graham said.
Not that kind of beat.
Ms. Graham quickly corrected, but then realized that that kind of beat might connect them.
Hey,
She suggested, her tone full of fun.
I've got an idea for when we're all done.
With our socks? Mine are finished, but they're really quite long.
That stitch is a good one, sturdy and strong.
Purcell grinned.
I'm done too. How about you guys?
Holy cow! These socks reach right up to my thighs!
With their needles now down and the yarn set aside, they studied their feet, proud of efforts applied.
Okay,
Ms. Graham said, clapping her hands.
with our feet warm and bright, let's get on with my plan.
Give me the deeds. Tell us all of your thoughts.
These socks are warming my feet, but make them quite hot.
Ms. Graham masked a grin as she studied her peer, then said to the others,
We need to spread cheer. How about a carol? Miss Kelly can lead. Then we'll reconvene here so Heiser can feed us.
I am
Heiser boasted,
the host with the most.
Yes, you are. I agree.
said Dr. Slope. Gathering around, the teachers stood proudly. As Ms. Kelly instructed,
Weather outside is frightful, but the fire so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
they visited neighbors, they sang with great pride. And when they ran out of song, they went back inside. With their noses now running and their cheeks rosy red, Heiser moved to the table and joyfully said,
Christmas Day is upon us. Look at this food. But where's Mr. Foster? His absence is rude.
in the corner, a clatter. Something was wrong.
Hey, Mr. Foster, where were you for our song?
The poor civics teacher seemed not quite healthy. His complexion was green, his gait not quite stealthy. His belly now bulged from 12 too many.
Are you gonna eat now? I don't think I want any.
Exactly how many huevos did you consume?
I ate all of the eggs and one legume.
Mrs. Graham gasped, and Miss Fry looked away. Miss Hardman looked down, for what could she say? The meal would consist of turkey and ham, oysters and clams, Brussels sprouts and baked yams, thick slices of bread slathered with jam. But there wouldn't be eggs. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Well,
Said Purcell.
it sure is dry.
Straight to bed, I suppose, is what I would advise. But then he'll miss Christmas, and that's quite sad.
There's no need to miss Christmas. Let me grab some doodads.
Mr. Heiser skipped off, then climbed into his attic, for this teacher was nothing if not pragmatic. He knew it was somewhere, in a box or a chest. So if Foster brought the belly, then he'd bring the rest. Unearthing the coat, along with a beard and a hat and a note, he cleared his throat and then started to read.
Christmas isn't really about what we need. It's not about presents. It's not about greed. The eggs and the socks and the songs are all fine. But friendship and love cause the season to shine.
And so Mr. Foster, now dressed as Old Claus, joined his friends at the table and unlocked his jaws.
You know,
He decided.
Christmas with friends feels supremely just right.
Everyone smiled, preparing to toast. But the host with the most suddenly cleared his throat.
This day with my friends has been a delight. Let us eat and enjoy a fine Christmas night.
Here, here.
Cheers.
Thank you, Miss Meeson wrote
Yes.
our little poem. Okay, we have our door decorating winners. Third place is Mrs. Hardman. Second place, Mrs. Bass. And
faculty, and I wish you all a wonderful break, a happy holiday, and a good new year, and we'll see you back here January 2nd. So with that,
See Aaron